Hey, it's Em from So's Real Thoughts.
Sal from Crome Yellow.
So normally we do a review for films from Beyond Fest, but we're like, let's mix it up a little bit and do some of our favorite films from AFI FEST this year. We're gonna start off with Joseph Kahn's Bodied, which is written by Alex Larson, aka Kid Twist. If you don't know who he is, he did this like epic battle with Dumbfounded a couple years back, and I think he kind of wrote this script about his experience. What's Bodied about?
It's about this white kid named Adam, who is played by Calmworthy. He wants to do a thesis on battle rap. He goes to one of the battle rap matches, and he's kind of like focusing on one of the rappers named Ben Grimm, who's kind of, I think he kind of like idolizes. They discover he has like some secret talents. He's kind of got some rhymes. He's just thrown into this entire world, and everything gets turned upside down. Basically, you are seeing this world through his eyes, and it's a way for Joseph Kahn and all the characters to kind of dissect just different aspects of kind of like social perception, racism, and especially rap in general, and the way that it can divide and unite. It's everything, basically.
It's so much.
It's everything.
It's quite the most like mind-blowing. I always feel like with Joseph Kahn films, you have to be going at like 1,000 miles per hour or at that speed as a viewer, because the dialogue and just the way he films and edits everything is overwhelming. If you've seen Detention, his previous film, it's almost at that speed, but with this kind of dense content, you're kind of, there's so much coming at you, and it's exhilarating. It's so brutally raw in its portrayal of race relations and what's happening today, and especially the rap world. If you are a freestyle rapper, I loved it. I loved it so much.
It's pretty awesome, and like you were saying, it's a very dense movie, but that's kind of why I like Joseph Kahn's films, is that like you really have to keep up.
You have to keep up.
If you fall off,
if you blink once, you're just like, oh fuck.
It's really cool. I mean, basically, the film is almost like a series of battle rap matches, but like in between, it's like this character is kind of like awakening, like learning more about this culture and about himself, and like all the kind of I guess casual racism that he didn't even realize that was part of his life, and it's pointing out all of these pretty systemic things, but at the same time, it's celebrating to me how this as an art form is like it's a really powerful weapon, and also like a tool to unite at the same time, right? So it's like, it's very hopeful, but at the same time doesn't pull any punches, like, at all.
I used to watch a lot of battle rap when I was like in college, and I actually did come across that epic battle between Kid Twist and Dumbfounded. It was so brutal because anything goes in the ring. Like, you can say anything besides, you know, obviously when you watch the movie, they tell you there are certain guidelines that you have to follow just to not mess up the culture of battle rap. They dove in so deep, and you just kind of get to see every little part of the culture that you would have not known beforehand.
That's a good point. Because I am really not so initiated in this, you know, in battle rap. So seeing it and seeing how kind of like the thing that makes it very specific is that it's based on pretty much like insults and takedown.
Yeah.
It's like the violence is in the poetry, which is cool because you're used to seeing kind of like physical violence all the time in films, but this is more psychological. But at the same time, it's cool because you see these guys who are super brutal to each other, like you're saying, in the ring, but then the moment they step off, it's like they can respect each other in a you know, like kind of like decent human beings. But it's cool because through the insults you learn, you know, that's how he dissects like all these different social issues and social critiques and all that stuff.
For him never writing a screenplay ever, it seems like. I know he wanted to become a writer, but he ended up going into battle rapping.
Kid Twist?
Yes, Alex Larson. And for him to write this, especially with Joseph Kahn, I felt like it was just so freaking smart and witty, so concise in its message, and it dives in so deep about like so many different issues. It makes you confront your morality, like how shitty of a person can you be?
Yeah.
But still be a good person in a way? Especially because, like Sal was saying, it almost comes off as an art form when these people are outside of the ring. They're friends, which is amazing because inside of the ring, they seem so brutal and they really cut so deep into your appearance, who you are, the way you rap, how you dress, and like all these little details that you have to really, if you're an opponent, you have to like study like your enemy or whatever, to like down to the very minute details in order to win. I just found it really fascinating. Even if you're not a fan of battle rap, just going in it not knowing anything and being able to discover so many different things, especially being a white person in a rap world, I always find that's always fascinating. Also because this Joseph Kahn somehow convinced Eminem to executive produce. Is that
yeah. It tackles all that stuff, like how minorities use rap and how, you know, white people use rap. It's just a really well-rounded film. Like you kind of have to just experience it, because it's, even if you're not like kind of like me, like not knowledgeable in all this stuff, it's like it's just a really exciting, exhilarating film, like right from the start. Yeah. It's just like,
it's like you got punched in the face almost.
That's the best
and
way.
You have to try so hard to keep breathing and being conscious in this film, because it feels like you're just being at the very end. You've survived the battle of battle rap. I really like the cast. Dumbfound is actually in this, which is great. He doesn't play himself, but he plays a version. He's this character called Prospect. Disaster is in this. Yeah.
Jackie Long, who plays Ben Grimm, is
so good.
He's maybe one of the main characters. I mean, he gets kind of like most screen time aside from Callum Worthy as Adam, who's our kind of like entry point. But what's cool about him is you get to see kind of the parts of himself that he hides from, you know, his opponents, like his home life and all that stuff, and you get to see just the kind of duality and different aspects that each of us uphold. Like, who are we in front of other people? Who are we, you know, in front of just our families? And Callum Worthy, like his transformation throughout the film is just like it's pretty much just jaw dropping.
It's amazing.
At the end when he starts out, he's just like, you know, super nerdy, whatever. At the end, he's kind of like this beast in a way, and you're just like, oh my gosh. You just have to hunt this movie down. I don't know if it's gonna get released, if it's gonna get a good release or what, but look it up and you will not be disappointed.
Cool. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Be sure to check out Sal's website,
ChromeYellow.com.
Yep, and we'll be back with more reviews. Thank you.